Dashtile. This is the first installment of VTAG UK's Gratitude to His Holiness the Dalai Lama series. His Holiness the Dalai Lama is the spiritual leader of Tibet and Tibetan Buddhism. He fled to India in 1959 after China's brutal and illegal occupation of Tibet. In India, he established the Tibetan government in exile and continues to promote non-violence, compassion, and human values.
The Tibetan Children's Village was founded in 1960 by His Holiness to provide care and support for Tibetan refugee children. Since then, TCV has now become a large network of homes and schools providing care and support and instilling a strong sense of Tibetan identity and preserving our culture. The motto, Others Before Self, truly encapsulates His Holiness's emphasis on compassion.
VTAG UK are here today at a TCV alumni fundraiser in London and want to ask ex-TCV students, what does His Holiness the Dalai Lama mean to you? What does His Holiness the Dalai Lama mean to you?
His Holiness the Dalai Lama is the heart and soul of the Tibetan nation and is embedded in the identities and self-narratives of all the individual Tibetans, both inside and outside Tibet. I say this because I grew up in Tibet originally, and after studying in India for a few years, I went back to Tibet to visit my family. And I remember this incident where my parents and my village were caught up in a dispute with another village in Tibet over a local issue. And my father told me to go back to India and petition His Holiness the Dalai Lama to say that bigger villages in Tibet are bullying smaller villages in Tibet, which shows us the extent of loyalty and the importance of His Holiness to Tibetans both inside and outside Tibet. They could have easily gone to the local Chinese authorities for adjudication, but instead he wanted me to go back to India and petition His Holiness. It shows us how important His Holiness the Dalai Lama is. He's the symbol of an independent Tibet in the past and is the heart and soul of the Tibetan nation, as currently, and will continue to hold a very important place in the minds of all Tibetans in the future as well.
상모레슬리 아니 나라니 디스위랑 서싱이 부신이라 디스위기 거리나 때네 아니 단다 미엠도 저치다리 pomamdo de chidari mila kiza chidang rokwa chidang samma tisui ne ni singsura tisui de ni khona khonda chogen tugen la de ne ani thandabu do do simbari kijiche ne karlo singsana miemdo da ingena china others before self rang de shenche la da kadi samche la ru dige samma ani khonda chorangi khonda chorang de ne ani singso niwode da halaena ani pömiri 진앙이가 중요기 변미리 상모체도 아니 건도적으로랑 댄사 겹사 레워치사 상모 아니 거라랑리 숨버디 아니 점링 지용을 빼잖아 상면 캔슬다 아니 거랑 노벨 시대생다 아니 토버지긴 뭐 상면 캔슬이 아니 재상 거랑 더 노벨 피스 프라이즈 내야 되지 더 모든 날에 사인 찍고도 거랑 차고래 아니 재상 뒤는 숨겨할 때는 아니 건도적으로랑 변미리 주고 모임 보마시 점링 지용 나다가도 변미리 상마시도 신도가리 친구이 고란 타마니 구세질론지 같은 거 melambio.
Dalai Lama for me is a very special spiritual guru, and he's everything for me, an inspirational leader, and for me he is an icon of world peace, love and compassion. He represents the peace in this universe, and he is my everything. Thank you.
당아 게트로 찍으셔와는 여름부지도 차나 난저기 다치 단다 춘지 내체는 전부 차외기 당과 tuk지 가딩스나면도 오다 차단 여름부지 아니 표시용 나가이 가딩침부 이슈 여름부지나 제 디진이기 때문에 넘버 하는 게 상명이 숭되기요래 당아란 샤워잖아 당원의 거라 수수기 자웰라마스나면도 파마스나면도 여튼기다고라이 온 다가라이 쉐
Hello, Dashtile, and to answer the question, what His Holiness the Dalai Lama mean to you, the gut instinct, the first thought comes to my mind is His Holiness the Dalai Lama is a father and a mother to me. To some, it might look a little bit awkward. I remember saying the same thing to a couple of my Indian friends, who used to say there is nothing more important than your mother. But it's just like, for not only for me, all the Tibetans, His Holiness the Dalai Lama is more important than your father and mother. Therefore, His Holiness the Dalai Lama to me is more than my father and my mother. I have huge respect for my father and mother, but His Holiness the Dalai Lama means more than that to me. And also His Holiness the Dalai Lama is the identity of me as well as all the Tibetans. His Holiness the Dalai Lama, for example, if I go out and try to identify myself and try to explain who I am and what country I come from, people struggle to understand. As soon as you mention Dalai Lama, they say, yes, you are Dalai Lama's people. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama is everything to me. Thank you very much.
His Holiness is not just a spiritual leader for me, he is a ray of hope, the epitome of peace and compassion. The emotion I feel for him cannot be expressed in just a word. It is a combination of love and admiration. As long as I live, I will try my best to live by his words of wisdom. Thank you very much.
His Holiness the Dalai Lama is the temporal and spiritual leader of Tibet. For me, he is mother, my father, my scholar, and my guru.
Tashi dele konsa chokne ani ngarang ki tsawe lama yi sit dijingi kyamne yi ani tuji che.
We Tibetans have a vital responsibility to do our part to prevent the Chinese interference and the succession of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. This is central to our religious freedom, culture, and Tibetan identity. China's attempt to control the sacred process is a political move to suppress the Tibetan resistance and manipulate Tibetan Buddhism. Tibetans must resist this interference and advocate for a true, uncontested succession, chosen in line with His Holiness the Dalai Lama's wishes and instructions.
We need Tibetans, Buddhists, Tibet supporters and human rights advocates to unite for this essential plight to preserve Tibet's cultural and religious integrity. We need to raise awareness and advocate to global governments to stand up against this blatant attack on religious freedom.
长满眼的云的，赶紧去。